Hi everyone, Janey here. Welcome back and welcome to Matthew from the Southerners Northern Garden. So, what, 1 year ago, almost to the day.
To you, when you moved.
Yeah. Well, no, I came to your house,
yes.
Your last house.
The week before I moved.
The week before you moved, and I did a garden tour of Matthew's gorgeous last home that was significantly smaller than this home.
About a third of an acre.
And then you moved here.
Which is 5 acres.
Which is insane, you guys. This is the most beautiful garden, and you've only been here a year.
Yep.
So this is a new garden, except for some beautiful established trees and some hedges.
Correct.
So are you tired?
I'm tired. I am tired.
But it looks so good. What are you most proud of all this?
So, I planted like 1,800 plants. Probably this year, between maybe 600 to 700 annuals, like 800 perennials, 35 trees, dahlias, all sorts of other things. And so this entire front bed in front of the sidewalk is brand new this year. There was a small little birch that was dying that I had removed last fall. And since that time, I have filled it with mulch. Last fall, planted the trees you see here, the smaller, or some of them are a little bigger. And then most of the perennials and of course all of the annuals started being planted in April. So this is a 3-month-old garden in some instances.
So very new, but some of it, including your Hydrangea Hedge, which is, it is stunning. Even though it's new, holy cow, right? So let me grab the camera and then we will walk around and take a closer look.
All right.
All right, my friend, this is absolutely gorgeous. Can we start with the heuchera? Because that's where I first became obsessed with you, was your heuchera.
Yeah, so these are all proven winners variety, which I found to be really great. They can take more sun. A lot of the newer varieties that they came out with in the past couple years. I don't know that I can name all the varieties in here, but there's about 4 or 5 different varieties, including Red Rover, which is my favorite red.
Oh, yeah?
Black Pearl, which is the darker, really dark purple. The lighter purple color is escaping me because I ordered 2 varieties and only 1 came.
It's like Wild Rose or something?
I think maybe it is. Maybe it's Wild Rose. And then the yellow chartreuse one is the new prom dress, I think.
Oh, nice.
Ball gown.
Yes.
All the fancy names.
Yes. And then I love this little river of, what is that, boxwood?
Boxwoods, yeah. So they need to be pruned, but these boxwoods were in front of the house over there where I've got the giant boxwood now.
Oh, okay.
I dug them up when I moved in. I think the previous owner had just had those installed. They have not even really rooted in to sell the house.
Like to sell, yeah.
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 And I immediately pulled those up. And they were in containers a bit for a while, and then I got them here, and I just decided to do them in a little curve.
It's so good. It's so good. So you guys, if you watched some of my videos, I've done this mix of heuchera, different mix of colors. And I always say I got the idea from Matthew because he was talking about it and how much he wanted to do it. And it was like, oh, I want to do that too. And you can see he's absolutely the king of it. So very beautiful. So what are these?
These are
salvia?
Violet Profusion salvia.
Beautiful.
So we've got a little drift of them here.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. So you love shrubs and perennials because you have a ton of them here.
Yeah, I have a lot of perennials. Shrubs is really like my big thing.
Is
I'm
it?
really interested in all the different shrubs because perennials sometimes have to be cut back and go through that period where they may not look as great. So when I'm picking perennials, I try and find perennials that tend to do well all summer and may not need a cut back.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of those planted in here. There's some dark side of the Moon Stilby, which could be cut off the blooms, but then you can leave them spring of next year for winter interest. We have some chartreuse on the loose catmint down here, which will continue to bloom throughout the season.
Beautiful.
Which is something else you could also cut back, but it's not needed.
You don't have to, yeah. What's this cute little thing?
That's Sting. That's
this is
Sting! My proven winners I got from Great Garden Plants last year.
Oh, I love it. So that's going to get,
real tall.
Real tall and real thin. So I don't think I showed this way yet. This is all of Matthew's property. Look at these beautiful established trees, but you also have planted quite a few other trees, right? How many?
This is a proven winner's redbud right here, and ignore the hose because it's just
we don't see the hose.
This is we saw them last year.
Black Forest or something.
Midnight.
That's it. Yeah.
Midnight Express.
How did you get that?
I found it locally. So the Proven Winners tree program's fairly new, but Siebenthalers locally had one, and I snatched it up. So
for you.
Yeah.
That was on my wish list.
Yeah.
I still actually think I want to plant that, but it's beautiful. So the smaller trees that you see here are ones that Matthew has planted.
Yeah.
And obviously the bigger ones have been here.
Yeah, so this is one of my favorite oaks. It's called a Kindred Spirit, which I had at the last garden. I had a hedge of like 5 of them that I planted pretty closely. It stays super skinny, probably not much wider than it is now, but it kind of goes up right. And then there's another one down there that's kind of really skinnier.
Oh, yeah.
It actually gets a little wider, but it's called Skinny Jeans, which is
Skinny Jeans, that's
cute.
cute.
This is a plum, thundercloud plum, I believe.
That's going to be so pretty once it grows up against this. Is this a maple? What is this?
Yeah, so these are all maples, the big trees here. These are a certain variety, and there's 2 more varieties down there.
Wow.
And they're really like perfectly shaped.
Oh my
Beautiful
goodness.
red color in fall.
Is that a garden, garden yours?
That's my very weedy cut flower garden.
Nice, yeah.
That I started it, and then this took over, and I
Of
didn't
course.
do as much down
Yeah.
there, so.
Well, you're kind of where I'm at, where like you want to do everything right now, but you have to focus your attention on some things. And so you focus your attention obviously on the front of the house, and it's absolutely stunning. So I have a question. Was this garden bed here, or did you build out this garden bed?
So this whole garden bed is new. There was a small perch over there, and I can give you pictures.
Okay.
I'll give you some drone footage to show you what it looked like. It was literally like maybe a 10 by 10 foot bed on the corner of the driveway over there. The birch came out. Everything was created.
Wow.
And, these big trees were planted in the fall.
Wow.
And everything else is new this spring.
Oh my goodness. What's this big one right here?
This is a star power juniper, and it's very prickly, but also very beautiful and this icy blue color.
It's so
When
pretty.
it comes out in spring, you can still see it. There's some berries on.
Yeah. Little blueberries. How cute.
Yeah, but I got all these trees for a really good price at a local tree auction last fall.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what are these things right here? They're glowing.
Yeah, so those are Fire Chief Arborvitae, which I used to not love so much, but I really appreciate the color now. So I'm a lot into foliage, textures, and colors, contrasting those, and then they look really nice next to the Star Power Juniper. And then the Crimson Century Maple, which is a really upright, skinny tree as well.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this. I wonder if I wonder if it would do well in Zone 9. I have a feeling no, but maybe.
Arborvitae maybe like 8.
Yeah. So at your last property, I remember from our last tour, and I will link the last tour down below so you guys can see it. But I remember you were doing this with, are these sun pations?
They're sun pations.
You were doing this with the sun pations, and now you took it to here. Oh, it's so pretty.
So I went back to my last garden last fall, and they had performed so well at the end of July, right after I moved out, that I wanted to try them again. Now, I love the color of the deep rose, but it doesn't seem to quite bloom as much for me as the orchid blush down there. The orchid blush, which is the pinkish, is full of blooms.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
But I really love the color of the deep rose better.
Yeah.
So we got some Serendipity alliums here, which are just starting to bloom.
Yep.
Some 1 in a melon coneflowers, which is one of my favorite coneflowers. They're a little short this year because they're brand new, but they will just be a beautiful drift of yellow, kind of that cantaloupe color.
I seriously love, look, I mean, if you look at it, again, this is a new garden, so it still has to fill in, but you see you have like big clumps of all these plants. So once it fills in, it's going to be crazy, Matthew. It's going to be beautiful. Tell me what this is.
This is one of my favorite calyxes called Feather Falls. I don't know that it's super popular or super well known, but these were planted from plugs. I think I planted these in the fall last year, and they grow so quickly and are a very nice variegated color.
Is it Proven Winners or something else?
It's not a Proven Winners variety. I think Walter's Gardens may carry it.
Okay. Walters, please. I would like that. It's beautiful. And then this, tell me again what this, the Orchid Flash?
Orchid Blush.
Orchid Blush. Oh, pretty.
And we did have a thunderstorm that rolled through today, so everything's a little windblown. Wet.
Yeah. So you lost a Cleome.
Yeah. So
one of these big, beautiful pink flowers right here.
Yesterday when we were at Cultivate, we had some straight line winds come through my team, and it had some a little bit of damage, and all of these cleome were blowed over. And I tried to stick this one up and stick a brick under it.
Yeah.
And then I heard snapping.
Oh,
it was
just a little too much for it.
So
But these are so pretty.
they done really well.
Are they an annual for you, or?
They're an annual. They're proven winners, Senorita Rosalia.
Mm-hmm.
And my viewers told me that they would get 4x4, and these have been in the ground, 2 months, and they are already 2.5 by 2.5.
They look good. They look beautiful. And this is more the feather.
Yes.
Say it again. Silver.
Feather falls.
Feather falls. So pretty. So you are kind of in the same situation that I am, where you are learning your soil, learning what amendments. It hadn't really been touched by the previous owners, right? So we're just trying to figure it out. And I'm right there with you. I'm actually going to do, just talking to Matthew before he started filming, I'm actually going to do a water test to see exactly what's going on with my water and everything like that. Because my plants have been struggling more this year. And just if we point out your Super Tunia Vista bubblegum, these look stunning, gorgeous. But then over here, what do you think's going on?
Yeah, you mentioned it might be chlorosis, and I don't doubt it. We've got some yellowing here with the hydrangeas that are planted here, and I've not got a whole lot of blooms out of them this year. So I need to do a soil test too in this area, but I've ordered some iron, some chelated iron to try and put on them.
For kind of a quick fix.
Yeah.
Save these guys.
Crazy. I didn't have a whole lot of problems in my last garden. We did have high pH soil, and we have hard water here in our county. I'm on well water now, which is harder than really the county water, so that's a struggle that I'm going to have at this new property.
Yeah.
But water's free.
It's free. You're right. Okay, here's a look over here of the Hukra. Are we calling it a Hukra River?
Yeah, that's what I called it.
It's a Hukra River. It's just beautiful. And then what are these guys right here?
Those are little lime punch, and they're tiny this year. They're actually just started blushing, so it is the variety that will turn pink really quickly in our zone.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
And those will get 4x4, so there's a lot of extra space from how I normally plant, but those were small plants when I got them.
Yeah.
Kind of planted so they'll fill out where they're supposed to.
I bet next year it's just going to be ridiculous. Now, you installed this rose arch, right?
Yeah, so this was made locally.
Oh, it was made for you?
Yeah, well, I bought it from the guy who had it. He made it for someone, and they didn't like it, and I thought...
They didn't like it?
No.
What is wrong with them? Oh, that's so beautiful. So what, is this Rise Up Embrace? What is it?
Rise Up Embrace, yeah, and it needs to be staked desperately. I've not done any staking on any of my climbing things this year, and I was going to get to that over the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Been too busy planting and mulching.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you move into a new garden. Yeah. I feel for you, Matthew. Yeah. So here's another look at a plant that you're struggling with right now, right?
Yeah.
But you'll get there. I mean, you'll absolutely get there. You all can probably hear the fountain. Holy moly, this is relatively new, right?
It's brand new. I put it in at the end of, maybe it's just May. Maybe it's only been about 2 months.
Wow.
It's a little dirty. It needs cleaned.
Where is it from?
Entering Studio.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Hopefully we have a really nice fountain container for that sells a lot of concrete items.
Wow.
A lot of aquatic garden scene before and Westchester.
It's beautiful, Matthew. Like, absolutely beautiful. And then what tree is this?
That is a rising sun redbud.
Wow. Look at how beautiful it is.
And this is at my last house. I'll just point out that I don't know if it's because our weather's been so weird this year, but typically it's this color in the spring and this color in the fall as it's putting on new growth. In the summer it stays more green because it's not trying to grow so much.
Yeah.
It may just love the spot. I'm not sure, but I'm happy that it's all these colors right now.
It looks pretty happy. It absolutely looks pretty happy. All right, let me show you all one more panning view of this absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous garden. What hydrangeas are these?
Those are pufferfish, which is a new variety.
Yes.
So they were planted. There's a trio on each side of this big boxwood. So this big boxwood was planted last year too.
Oh, okay.
Came from the nursery, from the plant auction where I got the trees.
Wow.
They told me it was probably 20 years. I've been growing in the field for 20 years at least. And
was that
this is not.
How did you get that home?
Oh, they delivered.
Oh, they did.
They augured the whole.
Oh, they did. Okay, I was like, how did you do that?
The grid bowl on it was massive.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's head to the backyard because the hydrangea hedge is a joke. Okay, is this what sold you on the house, the pool, or was it the front yard?
The pool was a perk, especially with our summers.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Okay, can I just show you how long this hydrangea hedge is? So I call Matthew the king of hydrangea hedges because last year, or your last house, I should say, you had that beautiful hydrangea hedge on that side of your house, which we couldn't get over.
Yeah, that was our hydrangea arborescens, Incredible by Proven Winners.
Mm-hmm.
This is Limelight Prime, which is a new version, an improved version of Limelight that's supposed to have stronger stems, still tiny plants.
Yep.
So after the rain we got this evening, there's a little bit of flopping, but if I had a different variety, there'd be a lot more flopping.
Barely. There's barely any flopping. When did these get planted?
April.
Wow!
There are 36 here, and there's 8 more on the other side.
Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. All right, so what's the plan? They're gonna get bigger than this, right? Yeah. Is the plan to just let them fill out this whole area and leave it, or are you gonna plant stuff in front of it?
So this bed is 9 foot deep.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking recently about maybe planting a smaller shrub in front of it, maybe like a deutzia, or formality is always like what I want to do. So I may end up doing boxwoods in front of it. There's a new better boxwood out there that's supposed to be improved against blight resistance. And I just really love the formality of boxwood, but they require pruning. So
it doesn't matter what you put here. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's just going to be so incredibly beautiful. And you didn't plant these 3 trees, right?
I did plant those.
You did?
That's the plant cell.
What? Oh my gosh.
Green giant arborvitae
Oh
that had at the last house around the property.
Yes, absolutely. You had a lot of them, right?
Yeah, I had like 26 of them.
Oh my goodness. And then you see his backdrop, and then it's filled with honeysuckle, which is ridiculous. I know. I know, but it's so beautiful. Okay, let me show these containers because these are gorgeous. Is this Bordeaux?
This is Bordeaux. It's a little wild. I need to come do some pruning.
No, I like it wild like this. This is beautiful.
I wanted to choke out my box. It's literally
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I didn't realize this was a double poodle. It's a double poodle. But that just shows that they're very happy. Oh, that's gorgeous. What is the sweet potato vine?
The sweet potato vine is called Solar Power Blackheart.
Okay.
So, it's very vigorous, and the lime one over here is Solar Power Limeheart. And I've been really impressed with them. I grew Blackheart last year. It did really well, and I threw in Limeheart this year with the Super Junior Vista Bubblegum.
Wow.
And a purple fountain grass.
Yep.
And the fountain grass just started taking off in the past 3 weeks, as it usually does when it warms up.
Yep.
And it's looking great.
It's looking beautiful. And then tell me about these containers.
The containers are from Crescent Garden. They're called the Pinch. So this is the biggest one, the 29-inch. They are self-watering.
Oh, neat.
So I have to fill these up, even as hot as it's been in the heat wave, every 2 to 3 weeks. So
what?
They're very nice for the pool patio space because I am not a great person. If this was not self-watering, I would have to put drip on them. And how am I going to get drip without like trenching it through the yard?
Yeah.
And they would be dead if I didn't water them every day. So excellent, and they have served me well.
Wow, they're so pretty. Did you guys put this fence in, or was it here?
The fence was already here. I have done some touch-up paint on it that I got to finish, but behind the fence, I finished last weekend creating another 9-foot bed that is going to be a mixed evergreen and shrub border. So I started on that end, and I got to plant the complete rest of it. Some of the plants are over there in what I call my shrub bay that are kind of tiny. Yeah. Other things I'm going to be picking out some special things as I find them. Just over the next couple years.
How do you do your beds? Do you do cardboard or do you dig it out?
So cardboard or contractor's paper is how I do a lot of the beds. Now the bed behind the fence, we primarily grow tall fescue here and bluegrass. And so if you put enough mulch on it, it will die.
Oh, really?
So we're lucky in that way. But some beds you don't want to build up that much. Wood chips like compress down after a couple years. You've done a lot of that this year. Like, it seems like
it's like you didn't even do it.
6 inches of being 2. So, it should be enough to kill off the fescue. I'm going to give it a couple weeks since I just did it literally last weekend. and start planting in it.
Wow. Oh, I'm so excited to watch your journey through this house. Like I just so relate to you so much, Matthew, because I know what you're going through and I know how much work you're putting into this, and the amount that you've done with this property in just the past year is absolutely incredible. But I'm so excited for you to do the next thing. Like I'm sitting here like, what's next? What's next? So that's my question. What's next?
Well, I've got to do some more beds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about doing, over here, there's like a little swing set.
Oh, yes.
And under the trees, you may have seen some mulch there. I'm going to be expanding those beds, and I'm going to do a battle of the Hydrangea macrophyllus and mountain hydrangeas.
Ooh.
I've started going to garden centers and making a list, and I'm going to do some research about the best ones that rebloom in our area. Well, that's what the test is, whether they rebloom in our area.
Okay.
I'm from Alabama. We have beautiful macrophylla hydrangeas there, which are the ones that turn pink and blue, if you're not familiar. I rattle off the scientific names quite often. And here, because we have such bad winters and late frost, it can kill the buds. And so if you have an old variety macrophylla, you may not get blooms on it at all if we have a late frost or a bad winter, because they set buds on this year. So next year's blooms will be on this year's growth. But the breeding has come out to allow them to bloom on new wood. So this year's blooms on this year's growth. And we're going to see which one blooms best here.
Okay.
And then after I find that, they're going to be planted everywhere.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm coming back, right? I mean, we might as well keep this yearly tradition up, right?
When you come to cultivate.
Right, when I come to cultivate. But this is just beautiful. And your last house was absolutely gorgeous as well. Oh, I didn't even show the back. Look at his ferns back there. Isn't that gorgeous? The last house was beautiful, but you finished your last house. It was full and beautiful. Did the people who buy your house, were they gardeners?
They were not gardeners, but they were very excited about the garden. They actually went outside and looked at the backyard before they went inside, which was great for me.
Yeah.
Because I was concerned that it would be too much work for anyone who moved in.
Yeah.
So I have not been back this year.
Yeah.
I've been concerned about what it may look like.
I know. I'm the exact same. I try not to go back because I just don't want to know. Honestly, I don't want to know. Well, I'm excited to see your journey for this. I think it's going to be amazing. Thank you for letting me come. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.
Absolutely. Bye.